So,
Well, here's a guy who is a prominent songwriter. He's right up there, in my opinion, as far as being a very prolific songwriter, performer, almost a genius as far as like his early work.
okay.
John Fogerty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
John Fogerty, finally, after all these decades, he's been able to acquire the rights to his CCR songs.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, back in the MTV days when he came back out with Old Man Down the Road.
Sure.
Out of left, what was it? Center
field.
Center field, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had dropped out of the music business for over a decade.
Right.
Because of his problems with his former label, Fantasy Records.
Right.
And he couldn't get, he signed a bad contract as a young person. I think we've had Dawn on the show talking about, these artists who sign these contracts. And one of the phrases in the contracts is in perpetuity, which means forever and a day.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically was fighting for his rights to get his music back, or the rights to his music, and he just couldn't do it. Well, finally, after all these years, he's finally been able to get it back.
That's good.
Capping one of the longest and the nastiest legal battles in the music business history, John Fogerty has gained worldwide control of the publishing rights to his CCR songs, more than 50 years after the songs were first released.
Wow. 50 years later.
Yeah. Fogerty has acquired a majority interest in the global publishing rights to his song catalog with the group, which includes Proud Mary, Fortunate Son, Bad Moon Rising, Up Around the Bend, Have You Ever Seen the Rain, and others from Concord. For undisclosed amount. A rep for the company confirmed to Variety. The news was first reported in Billboard. Now, you said you're not a fan of that era of music. Are you a CCR fan at all?
Hits, I guess. I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever owned a record other than Centerfield, which I know is not CCR. I like Fortunate Son and The Old Man Down the Road. And,
sure.
I like the hits, but I'll be even like Fortunate Son. I like the Bob Seger version better.
Okay.
So I don't know. Does that make me a fan or not a fan? I don't know.
I mean, Fogerty, you gotta think that CCR was a huge band at the time.
Sure.
And he wrote all the songs.
Right.
So and they churned them out. We talked about the short career of the Eagles before they had a greatest hits put out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, same way with CCR, they put out a ton of songs, late 60s into the early 70s.
Okay.
And they had a lot of hits, and Fogerty wrote all of them.
Right. Look at this. Do you think he'll get 600 million if he sells?
I would say, yeah.
What all are the hits? I mean, I know The Old Man Down the Road, and I know Fortunate Son.
Old Man Down the Road is his solo.
Oh, is it? I thought that was what was CCR.
Well, his was Run Through the Jungle.
Okay.
He wrote Old Man Down the Road, which sounded like one of his own songs from CCR, and we'll get into that. He got sued for it, but here's the top songs for CCR.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the rain?
Yeah, I know that one.
All right. Fortunate Son.
Great song.
Bad Moon Rising.
I've seen a bad moon rising. That's them.
That's them.
Okay. Yep.
Proud Mary.
Like the Proud Mary keep on turning.
Yep.
I thought that was like Ike and Tina.
Well, he wrote it though.
Oh, okay.
Down on the Corner.
Down on the corner. Lying in the streets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Know that one.
Green River.
Know that one.
Now Green River and Old Man Down the Road are almost identical. That's when he got into a lawsuit with his former label because they said he was plagiarizing himself.
Right.
And
nice.
And he won that lawsuit. It's like, how can I plagiarize myself?
Yeah. Is that about Gary Ridgway?
Yeah, Green River Killer.
Yeah, is that about him? I'm asking. It's probably the same
know.
river, right?
I don't think so. It has nothing to do with him.
It's probably that river, though, right?
Could be. Up around the bend.
How's that go? Oh yeah. Okay.
Who will stop the rain?
I want to know. No, that's it.
Have
Have
you ever seen the rain? Yeah.
Yeah, I know that one.
Looking out my back door.
I know that one. I guess I do like CCR.
then Run Through the Jungle.
I don't know that I know Run Through the Jungle. I probably will if I hear it.
They told me don't go walking slow. The devil's on the loose. Better run through the jungle.
I know this.
Better run through the jungle. Better run through the jungle.
Yep. So you know all those songs.
Yeah, I know all those songs. You know, now that I smoke pot, I need to go back and listen to this stuff again. Because I'll bet you I'd like it a lot more. I mean, that sounds like pot smoking music, all of it.
It was the late 60s. It was the Vietnam era.
Mm-hmm. Which I just wasn't listening to the first run of smoking pot. And then I was sober for not sober, but not smoking pot for years. So yeah, give me a little Fortunate Son while we're dicking around playing stuff.
Sure.
I love that song.
All right.
Ooh, I want the cannon at you now. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no senator song. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one.
All right. Now give me the same song from Bob Seger. I'm still sticking with Bob Seger did this song better.
All right.
I definitely like the Bob Seger. Me personally, I like the Bob Seger version better. It's a great song, though.
All right, here we go.
It's by a band I've always loved called the Creedence Clearwater Revival. Name of the song is Fortunate Son. To wave the flag, ooh, the red, white, and blue. And when the band plays hail to the chief, ooh, they point the cannon at you, Lord. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no senator, son. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. No. Some folks are born.
Oh yeah. I'll take that one every time.
All right. Well, he does a very, very good rendition of that.
Sure. Plus, he's Bob Seger.
Sure.
Bob Seger, greater than John Fogerty. At least in my ears.
All right.
At least in my ears.
All right. Well, from a performance standpoint, but you got to realize, again, I'm talking about the body of music written in such a short span of time and how
Oh,
how big the songs were.
Well, and you know what's impressive about Fogerty too? Then he comes back solo and does it again.
Yeah.
You know, he Center Field was a huge record.
It was a big record.
And how long had he been out of the business?
About a decade.
Yeah. So 10 years later, he comes back and writes 3 or 4 number 1 hits.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, you know, number one, the CCR brand was still being played on rock radio.
Yeah.
You know, in heavy rotation still, staple of rock radio. And number two, he came back during the MTV era, which again, MTV helped bolster his return.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Was doing all kinds of promotions of the return of John Fogerty and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, that really helped as well, that he was able to use the current medium to get his the promotion of his new record out there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he was probably what, in his mid 40s when that was going on?
I would say, yeah.
You would never see that today. Mid 40s guy given that kind of media attention? No way. No possible way. Instead, we get Rihanna at the Super Bowl. Fuck out of here with that shit.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Famers disputes were not with Concord, which acquired the rights to the catalog in 2004, but with the music and film mogul Saul Zaentz, who signed Fogerty, who is now 77, and Creedence to his Fantasy Records in the mid-1960s under a draconian contract that he defended aggressively and litigiously for decades. The bitter legal battle between Fogerty and Zaentz played out in the courts and the press, and even in Fogerty's thinly veiled 1985 song, the music video Vance Can't Dance.
Right.
Do you remember that at all?
I do remember. I remember hearing about it. Yeah.
It had a dancing pig.
Right.
See if you could find that music video and pull that up. Vans, V-A-N-Z, Can't, K-A-N-T, spelled with a K because that's cool. Dance, D-A-N-Z. Which unsurprisingly led to a $144 million lawsuit, ultimately unsuccessful lawsuit from Zaentz, who claimed the song copied Fogerty's own hit, Run Through the Jungle.
All right, here we go.
All right, dear, now it's time for you to go to sleep.
Can I stay up just a little bit longer and read?
Well, how about if I read you a nice bedtime story?
Okay, Grandma.
Let me see. Oh, there's one of my favorites, The 3 Little Pigs. Now, you just settle down, and I'll read you this. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who went out into the big world to build their homes and seek their fortunes. The first little pig did not like to work at all, so he built himself a quick and easy house of straw. I build my house of straw. I build my house of hay. I toot my flute and don't give a hoot.
Out in the street, the crowd is gathering. Pushed down by the heat of the building, they're wanting to dance. Making their way up the street, the boy with a pig and a radio. Little Billy can work on the crowd, put them into a trance for the little pig fans. Dance, can't dance, but it's still your money. What you gonna love you, what you gonna love you. Dance, can't dance, but it's still your money. What you gonna love you, man.
Can you imagine seeing that shit about yourself?
Well, I think this article is mistaken because that's not the song that came in the dispute. It was Old Man Down the Road and Green River, I believe, was the two that were
right
comparative. Let's see. Let me pull that one up here real quick. John Fogerty, Old Man Down the Road. If you listen to it real close. But that's not the song that was in dispute.
Okay.
It was this one here. Oh,
what happened?
I hit the wrong song.
Whoops.
I hit the wrong song.
Damn it.
All right. But anyway, then he sued him for plagiarizing himself because it was see.
Yeah.
So that Fantasy Records sued him for.
A couple people in the chat are saying that they said that it's Run Through the Jungle. That's the steal.
That's that's what I'm playing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm playing right now.
Okay.
So there you are.
Yeah, it kind of is the same song. So what? He wrote it.
Yeah, I know. That was the whole gist of the lawsuit, is that can an artist plagiarize himself?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got an artist that plagiarizes somebody else's songs, that's one thing. But can you plagiarize yourself?
Yeah.
And
he won or lost?
He won.
Okay.
So Van Zandt, which unsurprisingly led to $144 million, ultimately unsuccessful lawsuit from Zantz, who claimed the song copied Fogerty's own hit.
Jesus.
You copied yourself.
How dare you? How dare you write a song that sounds like you?
Yeah. It consumed decades of the artist's life and sidelined his music career for many years, although upon its acquisition, Concord quickly improved the terms of the deal. The company reinstated the artist's royalties Fogerty had relinquished to Zantz in 1980 to get out of the Fantasy deal, which he signed as a teenager and unwisely, in retrospect, renegotiated with Zantz in 1970 while acting not only as the group's singer, songwriter, and lead guitarist, but also its manager.
Ugh.
So he basically was a one-man show. The other three guys, not so important.
Yeah, and yet they're the ones that toured for years as Creedence Clearwater Revival, right?
Revisited.
Was it Revisited?
Revisited.
So nobody toured as CC as Revival?
No, not after they broke up.
Okay.
CCR, it was Creedence Clearwater Revisited.
Dumb.
Yeah. I saw those guys. I met those guys when I first got to be friendly with our friend Ian from Skinnerd.
Oh yeah.
They were opening for Skinnerd.
Okay.
And so when I met Ian for the first time, they were opening the show.
Okay.
So I saw them. They were just basically had a singer that, mimicked Fogerty, and they did the CCR songs.
John Fogerty?
Yeah, John Fogerty.
Was it John Fogerty that was out there? Jim Fogerty?
Oh, it was Sean Fogerty.
Yeah, exactly.
Zantz went on to a successful career as a film producer that was largely funded by his CCR profits, winning Oscars for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Amadeus, The English Patient. Fogerty attempted to acquire his publishing from Zantz in 1989, and two agreed upon a number, but at the last minute, Fogerty says Zantz doubled the price and the deal tanked.
Jeez.
Zantz died in 2014. Creedence,
and then John Fogerty showed up at his grave pissing on it like that other couple that we know.
He was like the little Calvin and Hobbes character pissing on his grave.
Shows up every day in the morning to take a piss on his grave, like that one guy.
Yeah,
Pissed on his wife's grave.
On his wife's grave, yeah. Creedence late 60s and early 70s heyday was huge. They reportedly sold more records than the Beatles in 1969, but freakishly brief. They scored an incredible top 5 singles, top 10 albums, 2 of them number ones in just over 2 years.
Wow.
But then faded just as quickly as the group splintered and finally split in 1972.
No shit. Wow.
Concord retains the CCR master recordings already in its catalog and will continue to administer Fogerty's share of the publishing catalog for an unspecified limited time. Fogerty owns the rights to the publishing and master recordings of his solo material.
So I guess we'll see nothing but CCR songs and GMC commercials here in the next 6 months.
Yeah, probably. The happiest way to look at it is, it isn't everything Fogerty said. It's not 100% win for me, but it's sure better than it was. I'm really kind of still shocked. I haven't allowed my brain to really actually start feeling it yet. Well, some publishing rights would have been reverted to Fogerty in a few years anyway under the U.S. copyright law, the 56-year rule. Fogerty and his wife manager Julie decided to acquire as many of the rights as they could. They brought in super manager Irving Azoff, who had managed Fogerty around 20 years ago, to help strike the deal. Julie Fogerty said Azoff called Concord chief Scott Pasucci and said, "Scott, you've made so much money on Fogerty. Do you want to be known in the music business as Saul Zaentz or legendary Warner Brothers Records Mo Austin?" And I think he heard that. I don't think that's what the deal was.
I don't think so at all.
It's like, I'm not going to be known as a pig. I'm not going to have John Fogerty making a music video of me being a piggish manager.
Yeah, I'm sure a guy with $100 million really gives a shit that somebody makes a video about him.
Yeah. Concord recently released what is presumably the last major work in the Creedence vault, a live recording of the band's legendary 1970 concert in London's prestigious Royal Albert Hall. Did you see that documentary by any chance?
I did not.
There's a documentary out there where they basically chronicled their show over there in England.
Okay.
And all the prep and all that stuff. It's pretty good. Accompanied by a documentary film narrated by actor Jeff Bridges, who of course played the Creedence obsessed dude character in the Coen brothers 1998 film The Big Lebowski. That film is just one example of the lasting legacy of the Creedence songs, which the Fogertys plan to extend.
Right.
I'm ready to feel really good about music again, he said.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I saw Fogerty open for Mellencamp back about 10 or 12 years ago.
Okay.
You know, he's a good performer. I mean, he still sounds like John Fogerty, you know.
Sure.
But you know, you gotta respect the guy and his talent for being able to pen that many hits in such a short amount of time, and you know, basically a staple of classic rock radio.
Yeah. I mean, dude, he wrote that soundtrack of that era.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean, a lot of those. I mean, when you play them back to back like that, it's amazing how many he actually did write.
Yeah. Then I know that he had a big falling out with his brother Tom Fogerty, who was part of CCR.
Okay.
And basically, his own brother, backed Zaentz.
Well, that had to be comfortable at Thanksgiving.
So he died of AIDS.
Not directly related.
No. But that's what happened to Tom.
Well, there you go. Karma.
Yeah. It's like, you didn't back your own brother? AIDS for you, pal.
Yep. You die of AIDS.
Yeah. So they did not reconcile at all.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Yep. So that's the tragic story. And then of course, when CCR got voted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, John Fogerty wouldn't play with the other guys from CCR.
Of course not.
Yeah. He was just like, they're just like, yeah, can't we just like this one for old time's sake, get together and, play at the, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? He's like, fuck you, pal.
Fuck off.
Yeah. So they Stu Cook and the other guy, I can't remember his name. I guess they got all pissy about it and they walked out. They got up and walked out.
Well, that sucks.
But yeah, I'm always curious. I'm a fan of these type of things that happen within bands that have become very successful, and it's just what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a sickening thing that why can't you guys enjoy your successes together?
Dude,
you guys obviously made a splash, but instead it's this infighting and it's about money, and and the thing is that the other guys benefited from the talent that John brought to the table.
Yeah.
And instead of backing their bandmate and their, supposedly their band brother, they backed this Saul guy.
Yeah. They're looking for the quick buck instead of the long buck.
It's like, let's and I remember seeing in the documentaries and reading these over the years that, John wanted to present a united front, and his own bandmates wouldn't back him up.
Yeah. Well, it definitely sucks. And it probably cost, on a selfish level, it probably cost us 20 good songs, 20 good favorites that could have been our, a band that was that good, that quick could have still been putting out good songs for another 15 years. And obviously Fogerty proved it.
Yeah.
He proved that he could still write, successful songs 10 years later.
Sure.
So how many songs did we lose in those 10 years?
Yeah. When he was doing nothing.
Yeah. When you're sitting around going to court.
Yep.
Ugh. Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll take a little break.
Okay.
And we'll come back. So I'll let you pick a tune.
All right. In honor of the trashiness of that story, how about if we go with King Cobra with the song Hollywood Trash from the album of the same name.
All right. Hollywood Trash.
Hollywood Trash.
All right.
We don't play King Cobra that often.
No, not really. Not at all, actually. I mean, I have all their stuff.
Yeah. We play it when they have a new record.
Sure. Do they have a new record?
No, not that I'm aware of.
All right.
It popped up in my playlist this week, and I wrote it down. I was like, all right, that sounds kind of cool.
All right. Well, we'll play a few tunes. We'll come back and we'll play something. I interviewed that Marcy Free. Mark Free.
Lucky you.
I know. That was just a creepy interview.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, just like, dude, what's it like having your dick cut off?
Yeah, that's the question you wanted to ask.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. King Cobra. Let's see here. All right. I got it pulled up here, so let's play it.
Right. Okay,
all right,
cool.
So here it is. It's King Cobra with Hollywood Trash exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show. Thanks for checking out this episode of The Classic Metal Show. Get all of our episodes uncensored at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. Join us weekly from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Eastern at www.cmsradio.net. Participate in the live chat room at www.chatandkill.com. Once again, thank you for checking out The Classic Metal Show with Neeley and Chris. Hail and kill, fuck you, pal, and hand job!